Hello, friends. We are obviously trying something new today, and we'll see how it goes. I have seen many people on FlossTube doing Stitch with Me's, and I tend to like the ones where people talk while they're stitching because it just feels like I'm sitting around chatting with a friend while hopefully we are both stitching. And some people, though, just do it to music, or sometimes just when they are, or they'll just have it to where you can, like, hear the needle going in and out of the fabric, which is also, you know, kind of ASMR-like, I guess. But yeah, I definitely like when people talk. So I thought that I would try kind of combining my stitching with my reading today and kind of tell you what I have been reading lately. Excuse me. I also brought my water with me. So I might have to do that every once in a while, because I seem to have this weird thing where talking to a camera or like on a Voxer message or something to my BookTube friends, I immediately have to cough or something. So anyway, yeah, well, let's see if I can even talk and stitch at the same time, because that might be a struggle. But so far, we're doing okay. Oh, I guess I should first mention what I am working on. This is Mini Night Cafe by Heaven and Earth Designs. The artwork is by, Leonid Asimov. I always forget his first name, but it is Leonid Afremov. I'll just put the picture here somewhere so you can see what it will look like when it's done. And right now, let's see what my pattern keeper says. Right now, I am at 72.65% done with this pattern. It is a restart for me. This is now my third restart on this pattern, so this will get done. And if I do my job correctly, it will be done no later than December 31st of 2024. This is my focus on a finish project for this year. I am thinking that I'm gonna try to have a full coverage finish, or at least close to, every year. We'll see how that works, because I do have a few minis, but I also accidentally put a few giant charts on my Haid wish list, and then people bought them for me, which I'm obviously very appreciative of. But when I started them and realized how many stitches are in them, I realized that I should not have put the regular sizes on my wish list, and that if it did not have a mini version, I should have just waited to put it on my wish list. But then I was worried, and tell me if you're one of my stitchy friends, which probably you are if you're watching this, but tell me, do you wish that Heaven and Earth Designs, or other places, because honestly I really haven't branched out that much with my full coverage patterns, but I wish that they would have like a private wish list and not like one that people can find, and And then whenever you're ready, then have people be able to view that project, because like, at least with Heaven and Earth Designs, they release their new stuff, and that's all well and good, but usually their new stuff is regular sizes. They don't start out at a mini. And then potentially someone, I'm assuming this is how this works, requests a mini, because they have the option that you can request a size. And then when they request that, the mini size, then it goes up in their charts. But until people do that, then you know, you only have the bigger sizes. And you know, like, you might really like that chart, but you don't really want to stitch that big chart, but you also don't really want to be the one to request the chart size. So that's at least what I do, because I'm like, I don't need a ton of patterns, but you know, if somebody buys them for me, then, you know, great, yay. But I don't need to be buying them for myself, you know what I mean? So, but it is what it is. So anyway, I'm already very rambly today. I should probably make sure that we are recording. So hold on one second and let me try to see. Oh yes, we are. Good for me. Okay. Anyway, so this pattern, I am doing it on 22 count Hardanger, which I classify as Ada, but I guess it's not. I don't really know. But it is 22 count, and I am doing one strand, and just over one square, obviously, because that's how Ada works. And I'm not one, I have tried, I like 20 count, but I was doing 20 count with 2 strands, and that was too tight. Oh, and I think, I did already say that this is my 3rd restart of this chart. This was the first full coverage chart that I'd started, and I believe I started it on 20 count, 2 strands, maybe, yeah. Yeah. Maybe I started, I don't know. Somehow it was too tight and I didn't like it. So, oh no, I started it on a linen maybe. Really didn't like that. I'm not a linen stitcher. So I think that's kind of where I went wrong the first time. So I got rid of that, restarted it, and I think that's when I started it on 20 count 2 strands. And I was doing okay with that. Actually, this part that you're seeing right now, I have stitched this now 3 times, because this is always the corner that I generally start in. And I was going along with that okay, but that's when it was starting to feel like 2 strands on 20 count was just way too tight, way too dense. So I started like trying to mix in 1 strand or mix in tent stitch with 2 strands, all this stuff, and in the end I just was like very unhappy with it. So I put it away for a while, and then in September, I think, of 2023, I decided third time's a charm, and I will try it one more time, and I will start from the other side, because I was really sick of just doing this side. And maybe that would make it feel like a new pattern, and it did work. Like I started it this way, 1 over 1, and started it from the upper right corner instead of the upper left corner. And we are now at 72, almost 73%. So it definitely went a lot better. As you can see from my stitching style, I am not like a lot of full coverage cross stitchers that do diagonals or do, sometimes I will do columns, but I don't like parking. So I'll do it sometimes. There's a few patterns that I have that I kind of just feel like I have to be a little bit more methodical, and I'm trying to stick with kind of a loose diagonal. Actually, I think I only have one pattern that I started, and it's one of my giant patterns. But I generally just pick a color and go with it. And I kind of do loosely like Sarah at the Stitchin' Mommy does, where she picks the next symbol in a 10 by 10 block on the, like, from top to bottom, and she does that just wherever it is. And I think she does like a, I don't know, I forget, she does it in blocks though, I think. And I sort of loosely do that. I'm trying to be a little bit better with this one in like trying to fill in mostly as I go. Obviously here I did not do that because I wanted to have, if I wanted to do the stitch with me, I wanted to be where I didn't have to change colors a bunch of times, although it looks like I'm going to have to, but I might, just for your sake of not having to sit here and wait for me to get out a new thread and put it on the needle, blah, blah, blah. I might just cut that out when I get there. But yeah, I'm just kind of, I'm a very haphazard stitcher, I think. I just go all over the place. Which, I mean, you can, I don't know how far down you can see, but there are, well, if you watch my floss tube, you'll see that this pattern, like, there's a lot of holes. And actually I was trying to finish pages, but I realized that I had made a mistake somewhere in the bottom, and it's not a huge mistake on this pattern because this pattern is so watercolory that I can fudge it, but I decided I needed to come to the edge so that I didn't mess up my fudging and get it to where the edges didn't match up. So we're gonna work down now, and then we'll fix that error when we come to it. Okay, I'm going to pause you real quick while I get another thread. Okay, we are back. I switched colors because this is a little bit more of a blocky stitch, or a blocky section than what I started out with. So I figured I might do better talking and stitching over here. We'll see. But so anyway, let's talk about books now that we've talked about stitching for a little bit. What have I been reading? Well, this year in general has been kind of one of those weird reading years where I just feel like I haven't been reading as much, and partly that's because I want to stitch all the time, and you know, that's fine. Uh-oh. I hooked my thread on one of the little pieces of my Lowry stand. Oopsie. Let's move that. I I do that all the time. Does anybody else with a Lowry stand do that? Now I can't find my... Oh, man. Here we go. Here's how this is gonna... Oh, geez. Hold on. Okay. Take 3. Anyway, I found it. So anyway, I am trying to listen to more audiobooks so that I can feel better about, you know, wanting to stitch. But then sometimes I really want to read a physical book, or sometimes, although less often, an ebook. I don't know why, but ebooks I just can't, I don't know. I can't get into as much. But, so yeah, this has just been kind of a weird year, and I've been a bad booktuber. This is how my channel started out, was booktubing, and I feel like I can't quite get into the groove of doing both. So maybe this will help. I don't know. But anyway, for the month of September, I have started out with rereading 2 different books with buddies. And the first one is Lady Audley's Secret by Mary Elizabeth Braddon. I will put a picture of these books as I talk about them in the corner of the screen or something. And I am buddy reading this with my friend Jo, and she has never read it, but we read the Trail of the Serpent last month, and we both really enjoyed it. We had heard kind of mixed things about it, but we both really enjoyed it. We thought it was crazy, and apparently we both like Victorian crazy. It's a sensation novel. Trail of the Serpent is. And so is Lady Audley's Secret. So we decided that we wanted to try to start reading Mary Elizabeth Braddon in order, in publication order. I don't think for Victober, which is coming up in October, I believe we are reading as a group read a Mary Elizabeth Braddon, so it is not in the correct order that we would be going in. But that's okay. We'll survive. But Lady Audley's Secret is about a woman who, from supposedly low birth, that marries a much older man. And everybody loves her and thinks that she's great. He is rich. She kind of came from sort of relative obscurity. So nobody really knows where she came from other than she was a governess. And a side story is that the man that got married to the younger lady, he has a nephew and is on a ship. He's on a ship, and he meets this man who is going home from Australia to reunite with his wife, who he left in Australia, or no, he left in England to go to Australia to make his fortune, because he was doing poorly in England. So he goes back only to find out that his wife has died while he was away. And this kind of puts him obviously into a depression. And Robert, the nephew of the rich guy, is kind of being a friend when the guy needs it the most. Well, things ensue, and this depressed man disappears, and Robert feels the need to figure out what has happened to him, and he does not trust Lady Audley, the woman who has married his uncle. So, yes, things ensue from there. You probably can infer some of the things by what I said, but I'm trying to be fairly vague so that I'm not ruining things. But the funny thing about sensation novels in Victorian times is you pretty much know. It's not like a mystery who done it. You pretty much know who done it right from the start. But it's more like figuring out why and how and all that stuff. And kind of like possibly bringing them to justice kind of a thing. So it's been really enjoyable. Like I said, I have read it before, and I must have read it very hurriedly, probably for another time in Victober. I think I read it with, I'm part of Kate Howell's Patreon group, and I know we read it with the group. So I may have been like hurriedly trying to finish it for our discussion, because I do not remember pretty much any of this. It's funny. It's like all new to me, and I know that I read it, but I remember almost nothing. I mean, when things actually happen, I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember that happened. But, you know, until then, I can't, foreshadow or whatever what's going to happen. So yeah, that's been really fun. And then, I am rereading The Murder at Mallowan Hall by, I think Colleen Cambridge is maybe the author's name. I'll put it up on the screen. But this is the first in the Phillida Bright, mystery series. And it's a cozy mystery, but it is, if you know anything about Agatha Christie, Christie is her last name from her first marriage, and then she remarried a Max Mallowan. So this is kind of a reimagining of their life, and I believe that it said, I don't know a lot about Agatha Christie, to be honest with you. I would like to know more of the real thing. I need to read some biographies and things, but I did watch a biography on her recently. But anyway, apparently Mallowan Hall did not actually exist, so this is a fictional place. But this centers around the staff at Mallowan Hall after Agatha and Max got married. And Phillida Bright is their head housemaid. I don't know what you call that. I forget what they call her. But, and she is a friend of Agatha Christie, and Agatha Christie gave her a job at one point when she needed it, and she is like the head house mistress now. And a murder, shockingly, happens at Agatha Christie's residence. I know, you're shocked. And Phillida decides that she needs to find out who killed this man, who was supposedly a reporter that showed up unannounced during a party weekend at the Mallowans. So there's a bunch of the Mallowans' friends there, and this guy just kind of shows up out of the blue and ends up dead in the library. Body in the library. How shocking. So yeah. Oh, and he was killed with a fountain pen. So I found that interesting. So that's all, I believe, on the back of the book. So I'm not spoiling anything for anybody. But yeah, so it's been a very interesting reread. Again, I barely remembered any of it until close to the end. I believe we're going to be through with it in the next couple of days. So I kind of remember things now. I remember like more the why of why it's happened. I still don't remember who actually did it. But I'm really enjoying it. There's some funny moments. I'm listening to Lady Audley too, but I have the physical book of Murder at Mallowan Hall, but I am listening to it and just kind of on occasion following along with where I am in the physical book. So that one has been good. I highly recommend it. If you like Agatha Christie style murder mysteries and kind of, what would this be called? Historical fiction mystery series. It's fun, you know. It's set in like post-World War I era, and I think it's World War I. World War II, maybe? I don't really remember, actually. Agatha Christie. That would have been World War II, right? I don't know. But anyway. But it's very good. I ordered the second book in the series from my local independent bookstore. So I am just waiting for that to come in, and I'm going to go pick it up and then probably peruse more things and buy more things because apparently that is how I am rolling this year, buying all the things. Yeah. So those are the two things. Oh, no, I'm reading something else too. My friend Elizabeth turned me on to this readathon type of a thing that is called Spinster September. So, as I am a spinster, and a few of the friends who decided to read this book are also spinsters. We are reading Hopes and Fears. It's called like The Diary of a Spinster or something like that. But the main title is Hopes and Fears by Charlotte Mary Young, who was a Victorian, kind of a Christian author. I mean, a lot of things in Victorian literature had very Christian themes, but she definitely makes sure she adds very Christian content into her books. So we have been reading that one. I will admit that I was trying to, and I still am trying to get Kindle Talk to Text to read it to me because there is no audiobook available. So I got an ebook version, and I am trying to get Kindle to read it to me. But let me tell you, this ebook that I got is not very compatible with that, and it's just been kind of a bad experience. So I sadly feel like I haven't been liking the book as much as my other friends because of that. But I am trying to focus more on it, and now that I kind of know how to fix the problem of the ebook, it tends to get stuck on certain words, and Kindle Talk to Text will just continue to say the same word over and over and over and over again. So, which, I mean, I'm sure you can imagine is kind of annoying. So, I have I've been trying to learn how to fix the problem when that happens, and so it's gotten better, but it's still pretty annoying. But yeah, I'm starting to like it more, but I feel like Uh-oh, I didn't do that right. Uh-oh, abort mission. Go back. Goes there. Okay. So yeah, but it is about, I should tell you as much as I can tell you about what it's about. I would think that because the book's like subtitle is Musings of a Spinster or something like that, I anticipated it being more about the spinster, who her name is Honora, I think. It's spelled like honor, but with just an A at the end. So I think it's Honora. We are trying to figure out how we're supposed to be saying the name, but she is a spinster by various different reasons. Not that, nobody ever loved her, but various very tragic circumstances have happened to different men in her life. And at one point, one of her men that she was in love with had married somebody else, and then but she died, the wife died, and he became friends with her again, and he had a couple of kids with the first wife. And he basically made her the governess, or not governess, the guardian of his two kids should anything happen to him. Well, don't you know, something happened to him. So now, Honor, as we've been calling her, has wound up as basically a single mother to these children. And it does go through her life as a spinster with these kids. And it shows them growing up and the various things that affect Honor because of the decisions that basically her kids make, and the decisions other people make for Honor, because she isn't technically their mother, so she's not really respected as their mother all the time. So it is very interesting how that all shaped out, because she basically ends up as a independent woman, which was, usually not the case for a single woman in Victorian times. But she, was able to support herself and these kids without a man. But people, still at times treat her like she doesn't know what she's talking about, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. So it is a really interesting book. I just wish that I hadn't started it the way that I'd started it, because I keep getting behind, and I don't feel like I had as much of a grasp on what was going on as my friends did, because a couple of my friends have been chiming in a lot about it, and they really seem to be enjoying it, or are like really frustrated with the characters, because it goes through basically her charges as they grow up and make their own decisions, and their own decisions are often not great decisions. So, Honor has to try to like guide them back, and that doesn't always work. That kind of thing. So there is a lot of frustration for us as readers with these kids that are basically not kids, but they're acting like kids, and not taking their mother's advice. But I'm sure there's going to be some kind of a redemptive plot line in the end. So we're plodding along, and I think I'm starting to enjoy it more. I was listening to more of it today, and as long as I am focused on what the talk to text is saying to me, I am understanding it a little bit more, what's going on. So I'm hoping to finish this book in like a 4-star range, hopefully, and, you know, to not give it something less, possibly purely because of just the format that I decided to read it in, because that would be silly. So, yeah. But that is basically all I've been reading lately, and it's probably going to really be all I'm going to be reading all month. I might throw in something else short after I finish Lady Audley and Malwyn Hall. I have a bunch of physical books that I had bought at a library book sale ages ago, like before all the 2020 stuff happened. And I still haven't read some of them, so I would like to start doing that and getting some books off my shelf so that I can make room for more books that I think I would enjoy more. So, so yeah, we're going to attempt that, and but then October starts Victober, and if you know anything about the booktube world, it is one of the most wonderful times of the year where we read all Victorian literature all the time. And there's events and there's group reads, and we attempt to read way too many long, thick Victorian books in the span of 31 days. So, you know, there's that. And of course, I have way too many books on that list already. And I will probably come back with a face-to-face Victober TBR video at the end of the month for that. But yeah, I just wanted to try this format. I wanted to try doing a Stitch With Me, and let me know if you're well-versed in Stitch With Me's, how you like this. I mean, be kind, but like I'm up for like some constructive criticism, as they call it. You know, but yeah, let me know if you liked listening to me ramble without having to see my face all the time, because I'm, to be honest with you, probably much more likely to do more book talky videos if I don't have to be camera ready all the time. So that is probably like the biggest struggle for me making videos of any kind. It's like on the weekends, and now that I'm not working from home, ooh, sorry, I just cracked my knuckles and I wasn't thinking about it. Now that I'm not working from home, the weekends is really my only time that I have to just be lazy and, I mean, obviously get chores done and stuff, but like, I don't want to put on makeup when I don't have to go anywhere. I don't want to put on, or, you know, like fix my hair and put on nice clothes and all that stuff to film videos. So, and I know what people are going to say. They'll be like, you don't need to put on makeup for us. You don't need to fix your hair for us. It's not for you. It's for me. I've tried putting my face on the internet looking less than stellar, and I don't like it. So you know, maybe it's vain, but it is what it is. So I am far more likely to post some videos if I don't always have to worry about being on camera, my face anyway. So anyway, I think I will say goodbye right now, and I got a little bit done in the corner here and a little bit over here. I didn't, let's see, before we go, let's mark some stuff off and see how many stitches we actually did. Hold on. Just keep waiting. I am marking off my stitches, and I want you to not have to listen to silence, so you're going to get this weird singing from me. Jeez. Okay, almost done. Almost done. My stylus doesn't want to work. Well, let's see. Let's have the big reveal. Did I do that one? Oh, yep, I did. Okay. let's see. Let's mark that sucker off. Oh, I got 93 stitches while we were sitting there. You know, I probably could have done a few more and gotten an even 100, but it is what it is. We're done now. So I am going to go, hopefully not have to do too much editing to this, and pop the book pictures in there, and hopefully you enjoyed this and we can do this again sometime. That was kind of fun. I didn't think I'd have anything to talk about, and I rambled forever. So, all right, friends, I hope you have a lovely Saturday and a lovely Sunday and a lovely week next week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.